Now imagine if you were able to operate on the level that nothing is true and nothing is false. Pure consideration versus believing everything you see. This following statement you can test for yourself. Search engines have a different database. The same things will not appear in each one, despite typing in the exact same sentence. Try it out. Something simple. See what happens. So my question to you is, if it happens, just try it out with 3 different search engines. See what happens. Is it intentional? Are they trying to hide certain things? Are they trying to push certain things? Or are they trying to prioritize specific things? It actually might not be from malice, but it could be unintended consequences. If you can literally type the same thing in 3 different objects, services, websites, and get different results, my question to you is, how can we be certain of anything that we experience, that we see? Imagine if every time you opened the door and you walked outside, you saw something different, as if you lived in 3 different worlds. Could you believe any of the worlds as true or real? What would you do? What would you say? Curious to hear what you guys think. So when you get to that point, you start thinking about it, and it's like, well, could it be agendas? Are they trying for specific things to be seen? Do they want them to be seen? So imagine these companies are working for specific parties or factions. Now, these factions, they tell the company, hey, push X. If someone types in this, we want you to show them this. They might be paying them, they might be helping them some other way, influencing, networking, whatever you want to believe, it's true. Could this be how they target specific people to learn specific, unique knowledge, to push things to people, to their audience, so that they engage with the system? Is that the whole goal? To engage with the system? Everyone thinks it's all about the negative people. You got to avoid them. So you don't think that the powers that be and the people that have control know that? You don't think that they've targeted positive, helpful people? Therapists, fitness influencers. You can tell them exactly what to say to get them, people, their audience, to engage with the system. And what happens when they engage with the system? And we're going to talk about all this stuff in more depth. You get people's energy. And a term that you're going to be familiar with, if you haven't already, loosh. Basically, draining someone's energy. So who would want that energy? Why would they want that energy? For what purpose? So it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy, observe, or interact with the system. But what if you knew that you're only seeing 1/3 of the pie of the world? But all this time, until now, until this moment, you thought you were seeing the entire pie. You thought that was it. That was the entire pie. This is the entire world. It changes things greatly. Oh, we explored all of France, but we only checked out Paris. Yes, it's a prominent location, but it's not the entire country. So did you really explore the entirety of France? What do you guys think? So imagine that each web browser is a library of the past. One is the Library of Alexandria. One is the Library of the Egyptians. One's the Library of the Anunnaki. Each one of them has their own version of events and stories that happened in our past. They get to write the history. They get to write the Bible. They can literally say someone else won that battle or war than actually did. And if you educate and teach the people that you are putting through your school system that that's the case, and they don't know anything different, why would they think that they're not seeing the entire pie? Even though it's maybe only 10% of the pie. You guys starting to get this? What's going on here? And if you only use that one library, that's all you know. So who do you believe once you realize and investigate that there's 3 libraries? Who's telling the truth? Especially if there's contradicting information. So think about apps. It's the exact same way. Info's uploaded to websites, devices, quote unquote, libraries. Who has the power? The one behind the library. They decide history. If they win the credibility war, they become the de facto truth and authority. What if you believe that that website is credible? That's that. Anything that you read there is real. Now, think about that. If that's the power that's behind it, why wouldn't these big tech companies slander the other tech company? Think about it. What are the benefits? They literally can write history. Why wouldn't they do that? Now, here's another question. What if there's factions, right? So a dark and the light. What if specific tech companies serve a specific faction? But you don't know that. Think about that power, the power that they hold. How easy could it be for them, or quote unquote, the dark one, and we'll talk about more about what I mean when I say the dark one, to literally tell exactly what content they want pushed, suppressed, allowed, encouraged, all for the sake of getting people to play the game the way it wants you to play, all for energy. So let's talk energy. Quick break right here.